Chapter 1. The day everything changed. The rain never stopped in Chicago. At least, that's how it felt to me. I stood outside a convenience store, counting coins in my hand. Not enough for food. Again, my stomach growled, but I ignored it. Hunger had become normal. My name is Ethan Gray. Or least. That's what I thought. I grew up in foster homes. Parents. Narrate. Just survival. Work small jobs. Get paid little. Repeat. Life was simple but cruel. That night, I made a decision. Just one instant noodle, I whispered, stepping inside. But as I reached the counter, everything froze. Literally. The cashier stopped mid-motion. The rain outside hung in the air like glass. What the? A glowing blue screen appeared in front of me. System activated. Cheat. Cashback system loaded. Welcome, host. I blinked rapidly. Okay, I've officially lost it. First task. Spend $1 cashback. Newbie bonus active. My eyes widened. This has to be a joke. Still, my hands moved on their own. I placed $1 on the counter. Jimmy resumed. The cashier rang it up. And then, bing! My phone vibrated. I checked it. Balance $1,000. I froze. No way. Heart pounding, I walked outside. Test it again, I muttered. I bought a soda for $2. Bingy. Balance $2,000. My breath hitched. It was real. I laughed. Actually laughed for the first time in years. Okay. Calm. If this was real, then everything could change. No more hunger. No more struggling. No more being. Nothing. But just as excitement filled me, a black SUV pulled up. Men in suits stepped out. One of them looked directly at me. Mr. Ethan Gray, he's calmly. We've been looking for you. My heart skipped. I think you've got the wrong guy. He shook his head. No, you're exactly the one we've been searching for. The air turned heavy. Your family wants you back. Family? I stared at him, confused. I don't have a family. He smiled slightly. You do. And they're very powerful. And just like that, my life changed again. Chapter 2. The family I never knew. They took me to a mansion, not Jizigi. Insane. Gates taller than buildings. Security everywhere. The kind of place you only see in movies. This is your home, the man said. I laughed nervously. Yeah, right. But the gates opened. And suddenly, it didn't feel like a joke anymore. Inside, everything screamed wealth. Marble floors, chandeliers, art that probably cost more than entire neighborhoods. A woman stood at the top of the stairs. The moment she saw me, she froze, then ran. Ethan! Her voice trembled. I stepped back instinctively. I think you're mistaken. She hugged me. Tightly. Like she'd never let go. Son. My body went stiff. Son. I'm sorry. She whispered. I'm so sorry. My mind went blank. What's going on? A man approached slowly. Sharp suit. Coco Dauda. His eyes. They were shaking. I'm your father, he said. Silence. I stared at him. Achi them. This isn't funny. It's not, he replied. They explained everything. I was kidnapped as a child. Lost chi. Declared dead. They searched for years. Never stopped. Until now. I laughed again. This Jimmy. It hurt. So all this time, I was out there suffering. My fists clenched. And you couldn't find me. My mother broke down. We tried. Not hard enough. I snapped. Silence filled the room. Then my phone buzzed again. System notification. Spain $100. Get $1 cashback. Tardachi. Desisting. This timing. It wasn't coincidence. It felt like destiny. Or something even bigger. I looked around at the mansion. At the people who called themselves my family. And I realized something. I had two things now. A family I didn't trust. And a system that could change everything. And I didn't know. Which one scared me more? Chapter 3, Testing the System. I didn't sleep that night. How did? Everything felt unreal. A riche family. A cheat system. A life I never imagined. So I did the only logical thing. I tested it. I walked into the mansion's luxury store room. Clothes worth thousands. Watches that could feed me for years. Pick one. $500. Let's see. I paid. Ping. Balance $5. My heart raced. It's multiplying. This wasn't normal. This wasn't luck. This was broken. Overpowered. Dangerous. Kept going. $1. $10. $5. $50. Within an hour. I had more money than I could comprehend. I sat down, breathing heavily. This thing has no limits. Or did it? Warning. High-level spending may trigger attention. My smile faded. Attention. From who? Other. A silence. I'm back. Thinking. If this system was real, then I couldn't act carelessly. Money brings power, but it also brings enemies. And something told me I wasn't the only one with secrets. Chapter 4. The Hidden Enemies. The mansion felt different in daylight. Less like a dream. More like a battlefield. Servants bowed as I walked past. Security followed me at a distance. And cameras tracked every move. This wasn't just wealth. It was power. And power always had enemies. Someone's watching you. The voice came from behind. I turned. My father stood there, hands behind his back. You spent over $1 million in one night, he sighed calmly. I froze. How do you? I track everything, he replied. Especially things that don't make sense. My mind raced. Stay calm. I was. Testing things, I said. Testing what? Silence. I couldn't tell him about the system. Not yet. Freedom, I said instead. His eyes narrowed slightly. Freedom doesn't come from reckless spending. I smiled faintly. Neither does control. For a second, tension filled the air. Then, a loud alarm echoed through the mansion. Intruder alert! Guards rushed past us. My father's expression turned cold instantly. Steady. Like hell I will, I muttered. I followed anyway. Outside, chaos unfolded. Black-clad attackers. Fast, skilled, silent. Not normal thieves. One of them moved toward me. Before I could react, Pungy. A guard dropped him. I stepped back, heart racing. This isn't normal. Then my phone vibrated. System alert. Threat detected. New mission unlocked. Survive the attack. Reward. Cashback multiplier by 20. My eyes widened. Multiplier. Vinci. That was insane. This wasn't just about money anymore. The system. It wanted me involved. An attacker rushed toward me again. Instinct kicked in. I grabbed a metal rod nearby. Swung. Connected. He dropped. I stared at my hands. What was that? That strength. It wasn't mine. System passive activated. Basic combat enhancement unlocked. I exhaled slowly. So, it's not just money. This system was evolving. And so was he. By the time the attack ended, bodies were gone. Cleaned. Like nothing happened. But I knew better. I looked at my father. This wasn't random. He nodded. Oh. Then repaused. Then said something that changed everything again. People who don't want you back. For the first time, I realized something terrifying. Coming back to this family wasn't just a blessing. It was a war. I locked myself in my room. Door shut. Lights off. Von glowing. System, I whispered. The blue screen appeared instantly. Hosti status. Name, Ethan Gray. Wealth, classified. Level 1, 3. Ability, cashback plus combat enhancement. Multiplier, X20 temporary. Hardachi e. Leveling. So this system worked like a game. Spend money. Gain power. Level up. Simple. Broken. Dangerous. Show missions. Available missions. Spende milhões de dólares Rio upgrade. Discover enemy identity gives reward. System expansion. Tech family reward on. Anon. That one bothered me. The system never left things unclear. Unless it was something big. I stood up slowly. Fini. If this was a game, then I'd play it. But I wouldn't lose. The next day, I went all in. Luxury cars. Investments. Private deals. I spent millions within hours. Bingy. 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 Money flooded in. Faster. Stronger. But something else changed too. My body felt lighter. Sharper. Faster. I turned. My mother stood at the door. Worried. You're pushing yourself too hard. I softened slightly. I'm fine. No, she said quietly. You're not. Silence. Then she stepped closer. We didn't just find you. We brought you back into danger. I looked away. I can handle it. She shook her head. You shouldn't have to. That hit differently. Because for the first time, someone was worried about me. Not my survival. Not my usefulness. Just me. But before I could respond, my phone buzzed again. System alert. Enemy leader identified. Location, downtown Chicago. Mission activated. I clenched my fists. So it begins. Chapter 6. The First Hunt. Night fell. On it, I stopped being the victim. The location was an abandoned warehouse. Classic. Dark. Quiet. Dangerous. Perfect. I stood outside, adjusting my jacket. All right. My heart was steady. Steady. System buff active. Rex boostchi. Drink boostchi. Cashback multiplier by 10. Let's go. Inside. Shadows moved. Voices whispered, "Hiring." More than before. One spotted me. Who the hell? Ovd. Fast. Fast. Juanjichi. Another came. Ajt. Countered. Dream. This is insane. I wasn't fighting like a normal person. I was dominating. Then, a voice echoed. Impressive. I froze. A man stepped out. Calm. Smiling. Dangerous. So you're the lost heir. I narrowed my eyes. And you are? Chuckled. Someone who benefited from your absence. My blood ran cold. You mean? Yes, he said casually. Your kidnapping wasn't random. Silence. Then, it was business. Rage exploded inside me. You ruined my life for money. He tilted his head. And now you're doing the same. Just better. I rushed. I'd blocked it. Easily. Stronger. Faster. Lie. You're not the only one with power, he said. System warning. High level, enemy detected. For the first time since gaining the system, I felt something unfamiliar. Fear! Chapter 7. Breaking Limits. The fight wasn't fair. Not anymore. He moved faster than me. Hichihad. Every strike felt calculated. I was losing. You rely too much on that system, he said calmly. I wiped blood from my mouth. And you don't? He smiled. I mastered mine. That Hichihad. So there were others like me. I staggered back. Thinking. Adapting. System. Emergency. Upgrade available. Cost $10 milhões. Reward. Temporary overdrive mode. I didn't hesitate. Activate. Pain exploded through my body. Everything slowed. His movements. The air. The world. Hoved. Faster than ever. Stronger than before. One punch. He flew back, crashing through crates. His smile disappeared. Now, that's interesting. We clashed again. This Chimi. Iquao. No. Bitter? I pushed forward. Relentless. Focused. Finally. One last strike. He dropped. Breathing heavily, I stood over him. You lost, Chi. He laughed weakly. No, this is just the beginning. Before I could react, he triggered something. Smoke. Fleshy. Gun. I stood alone. Shaking. Mission complete. Reward. System evolution unlocked. I exhaled. This isn't over. Whew! This was just the start. Chapter 8. Truth of the System. Back at the mansion. Everything felt heavier. Tell me the truth, I said to my father. No more lies. Sighed. The nada. There are others like you. I already knew that. But what is this system? Heated. Then sighed. It's not technology. Silence. Then what? Experimentation. My chest tightened. Arn. People? Kinada. Elite families funded it. To create. Something beyond human. I clenched my fists. So, I'm just an experiment. No, he said firmly. You're the result. That didn't make it better. And the man I fought. A rival family's weapon. Weapon. That word echoed. My phone lit up again. System update. New ability. Wealth conversion. Power scaling. Unlocked. Derdachi. So the richer I get, the stronger I become. I laughed quietly. Then I guess. I looked up. Eyes sharp. I'll become the strongest. Chapter 9. The New King. The city looked different now. Smaller. Controlled. Mini. I stood on top of a skyscraper. Wind blowing. Ice come. From nothing to this. Ethan. I turned. My mother smiled softly. You've changed. Ada. So has my world. Belows. Lights. Beopli. Life. And what will you do now? She asked. I looked ahead. Far beyond the city. There are others like me. Enemies. Systems. A small smile formed. I'll find them. I'll surpass them. And I'll make sure. My eyes hardened. No one ever controls my life again. System final notice. New title unlocked. The Cashback King. I exhaled slowly. This wasn't the end. This was my beginning.